20th anniversary celebration of Congregation CZA Abraham. And the reality is that we've existed in one form or another for longer than 20 years. And we actually had a very extensive prehistory, and there are many of you who have lived through that prehistory with me and with others of us here. I wanted to extend a special welcome to some of our guests who've come to celebrate with us. And they represent, in many ways, different periods and eras of the life of our congregation and of the prehistory of our congregation. The earliest phase, really, of our attempting to do something in terms of the establishment of a congregation was the establishment of a Messianic Jewish neighborhood cluster in Ypsilanti that was part of the Word of God. And Jim and Deb Farrar were part of that cluster, and living on the same in the same neighborhood were Jim and Martha Balmer. And Jim and Martha are here to celebrate with us. Where are you, Jim and Martha? In the back there. Jim and Martha, it's great to have you with us. Jim and Martha just represent something of that continuity, of that history that goes all the way back to the early 1980s. So we're talking there more about 30 or 31 or 32 years rather than 20 years. Dave and Nancy Solo were living there. Lon and Katie Mendelson were on that block, and I was living just a block down from there. And at the very same time, there was the beginning of a congregation developing in the Detroit area, in Oak Park. And that was being presided over by Haskell Stone. And I was driving in to Oak Park every week, and I was leading music at those meetings, and Haskell was teaching. And so it's also our honor, our privilege to have Judy Blanchard, Scott Blanchard, and their son Jordan. Of course, Judy is Haskell's daughter, and their other sons have in various ways participated in our life, and it's really a pleasure for us to have you. Thank you so much for coming and participating in this celebration with us. In the late 1980s and then the beginning of the 1990s, we were, many of us, some of us were part of this community, the Word of God. It went through a major rupture and split, and that was what galvanized us to form a Messianic Jewish congregation. And it was really at that time that Roz also was developing a close relationship with Dana, and then also with Dana's parents, Mel and Elaine Berg, who of course I always knew as Melanie Berg. And when Roz would say it real class, I'm going to spend time with Mel and Elaine, and I just knew it as Melanie. But it's great to have Elaine with us to celebrate. She and Mel were immersed and came to follow Yeshua in that early period, just as we were forming as a congregation, and we're part of the original governance committee that we had set up in 1993 to set up the basic structure and pattern of life for Congregation CZA Abraham. So thank you so much, Elaine, for coming to be with us and celebrating. I also saw, I think Jack Hart back there with Olivia. I think they're, maybe Jack, they came, grabbed some food, but we see you, Jack. That is you, isn't it, Jack? Yes. And I think some of the kids, and of course it was in that very early period in the 90s when Jack connected up with us in our congregation, and we also got to know his wonderful mom, Olivia. And so these are parts of our history we connect with when we have those of you who are such close friends of our congregation to be here with us. Of course, we also, at that time, at the very time when the congregation was being formed, and we had this little cluster grouping on Browning Street, this is also when we met Gladys Klein. And Gladys got to know the Solos, and she was going to these Friday night Shabbat dinners in the early 1990s, before we were a congregation. And then when Roz started to get to know the singers, and we started a Bible study, Gladys was part of that. And so really Gladys was right there in the origins of the formation of Congregation CZA Avraham, and in that period immediately before the formation of the congregation. And a number of members of Gladys's family took advantage of this anniversary celebration to have their own little family reunion in town, and we're so happy that you did. And for you, when we see your faces, of course, we think of Gladys and remember her. So we're just so grateful to have you with us as well. I also saw Jessica come in, and I assume, is Eric here too, or no, just, okay. How about your kids? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna, in just a moment, we're gonna have this slideshow, and we start off the slideshow with the slides of facilities we've been in. And one of the first facilities we met in was in Larry and Marie's home. And of course, at that point, Jessica was still probably, a teenager, early teens, and so it's also great that Jessica could be here to celebrate this anniversary with us. It's of course also just terrific having the Trimuses here. We're sad that David and Rachel couldn't join us, but Eric and Pam have been such wonderful friends to us in our congregation, and we value your friendship tremendously, and it means a lot to us to have you here for this celebration. So, as we begin, I thought the appropriate thing for us to do, the very first thing to do, is for us to recite the appropriate blessing. So let's say the Shehecheyanu together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'hiyanu v'hiyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Lord our God, the King of the universe, who has given us life and sustained us and enabled us to reach this very, very happy season. Amen. So now we're going to have a few minutes of looking at some slides that take us through key points in the life and history of the congregation. We're going to turn on the light. The lights here. Do we have the capacity to?
Yeah, we can close the curtains.
At least.
It takes us.
Oh, at least we got.
Can you get it? Good job. Good job.
I love the day of Purim so. For then to synagogue I go, and hear the story of Esther brave and Hagen Paul. Party, sing a song. Go up, man, no give and take. Eat your apple, passion cake. Oh, boring, full of joy. For every. I love the day of Purim so. I love the day of Purim so. When to synagogue I go, hear them read the story. Esther brave and Hagen Paul.
Thanks to Izzy for putting that slideshow together for us. Can we get the lights back on? Okay. Oh, did she? There's a video thing too? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Keep the lights off and everything. I didn't realize there's more here. Someone who couldn't be here with us, but who very much wishes she could be here with us, and a very important part in the life of our congregation, and who's going to therefore be with us in a different mode, is Hannah. So Hannah had some things to share with us.
Hi, Congregation Zara Abraham. This is Hannah calling in from the Jewish Theological Seminary in New York City. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today to celebrate the 20th anniversary with you. And so as a compromise, I'm sending a video message instead. I want to express my personal gratitude and talk about my personal experience growing up at CZA. CZA has been crucial both to my spiritual development and to the development of my Messianic Jewish identity. All of you as individuals and also as members of a greater collective community have provided the space and the mentorship to impart on me wisdom, faith, and a passion for Yeshua as well as a passion for Judaism. It's that very faith and passion that gave me the desire to study Talmud and sent me across the country to study at JTS. It's also that same faith and passion that has inspired me from a very young age to pursue the career of becoming a Messianic Jewish rabbi. At Congregation CZA Abraham, I learned what it was to be a Messianic Jew, and I also learned what it was to have a Messianic Jewish community and the great importance of that. For these two lessons, I am extremely and eternally grateful, and I hope to be able to provide those same opportunities and to impart those same lessons onto the next generation. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for coming together and forming